is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where you, the pit crew, you are the real star of today's show. Happy Humpday to everybody out there. And where are we at? We are at the 16th of January. I started this year off feeling really good about things. Was really caught up, getting some momentum, and then boom, middle of the month comes, and I have just stress. It's all starting to cave in on me now. So I wonder how you guys are doing. How's your 2019 going? I have a lot going on in personal life. So let's talk real quick before we get to the news about sim racing life. You know, sim racing is our hobby for the most part. And when we talk about things that we really want to do in sim racing, it comes out of our spare time in life. And so I've been working on a project for CXE Simulations for Base 51, and it's coming to a completion, but it's been taking a little bit of time from me, a lot of thought. And then we got this endurance race going on. Today is Hot Lap Hump Day. We'll talk about that in just a moment. So many things going on, and it makes it so hard to get everything that I want to get done. Anyway, that's where we're at here today. I want to thank Michael Clark for the big donation this morning buying coffee. Thank you very much. I don't want to forget about that, but before the show even got going, Michael was very generous. So thank you, Michael Clark. But yeah, lots going on. Preparation for the endurance race, Hot Lap Hump Day, this whole project. We've got Assetto Corsa. So let's get to the news. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get down to the news. So starting off with, today is a very big day. Yes, the new shirt. See the new shirt? Actually, I have a new mouse pad too. And Jesse Conroy was the first recipient. Each month we are going to do Michael Clark breakfast as well. Breakfast and coffee. Thank you so much. What we are going to do is on the 4th Saturday, is that what I said? The 4th Saturday of every month, we're going to have our patron race. And in honor of that race each month, one patron is going to win a Simpit care package. So that includes a shirt and mouse pad, or a shirt and a mug, something along those lines. But Jesse already won this combination. I won this combination as well, as you can see. So today is a very big day. We can almost call this Assetto Corsa Competizione Day, because today is the day of Release 5. And I think today we saw a price increase, obviously. I'm going to play the video. I don't think I'll get in trouble because they actually sent it to me. So if this gets pulled, then it'll be the last time I play a video sent to me by their media department. But they sent me a link to the video and asked me to talk about it. They didn't have to ask. This is something I had every intention of talking about today anyway. But Release 5. So we see Circuit Zolder here. That is the latest track that has been added to the list. And the Emil Frey Jaguar. This to kind of increase the Field of Blancpain cars that are out there. This access, again, raised the price $10, added some new features as well, and our very own Michi Hoyer is going to be streaming today. I actually have some screenshots that are worth seeing as well. So here's some cool shots of the Jag, but let's see, I think Dennis Lindblad is going to host a room. Michi is going to be streaming it right here on the main channel today at noon. So that's coming up in about 3 hours. And of course, if you'd like to join him, hop into the patron channels and get involved in the chat there. And you can get out on track with him during the stream. So some great looking shots of that Jaguar and of Circuit Zolder as we prepare for Assetto Corsa Competizione Round 5. So again, a $10 increase in price. So if you didn't buy it yesterday and now you're excited today, it cost you $10. I've been warning you. I have been telling you for sure. Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind. I've been preparing you guys for this very moment. But again, today at 12, you will have Michi Hoyer right here on this channel streaming brand new Round 5. Assetto Corsa Competizione Release 5, I should say. Early Access Release 5 to be more correct. What's with the girl in the bikini? Do you guys know of Jenny Davis? If you don't know, Jenny Davies, I should say, search for Brad Holmes and Jenny Davies. You'll get a really good laugh. Not the brightest, not the sharpest tool in the shed. Forza. So today is the day of the Barrett-Jackson car pack. We talked about that. It has those 7 historic cars collectible to Forza. In addition to that, there was a Series 5 update to Horizon 4. Still haven't touched it since last release because no triple support. Yeah, well, I mean, it supports triples. It doesn't have the fine tuning for triples, if I'm not mistaken. The Jag has swag, says David Blair. But yeah, so they also have a write-up at the main page with the Forza Horizon 4 Series 5. A bunch of new things going on there. Free-for-all adventure. There are competitions going on. A new story, the Isha's Taxi. Some cool background on some of the stuff and other improvements that have been added to Forza Horizon 4. So, really big day. Think about it. You have Assetto Corsa coming out with Release 5. You got Forza Motorsport 7 getting the Barrett-Jackson car pack. You've got Forza Horizon 4 getting a significant update. And not to be undone, you also have the free update for Gran Turismo. So this is the free update 2019 has arrived with 8 new cars, the return of Special Stage Route X, and new GT League events and more. So this is now out, and I have some screenshots on their other page here, so you can see some of the things. Let's talk about some of these cars. Look at that, the 356A with a roll bar, I might add. I don't know if that was stock. The 1500 GS GT Carrera Speedster, maybe that was, but look at that. When you think of this car here, look at this car, and I know it's old, sure. That's 1956, people. That is a car. That is a beautiful car. It was quite a potent car, not super powerful in terms of speed, per se, or horsepower, I should say, but very lightweight car, so it enabled it to be very quick relative to other cars. And on the polar contrast would be the Aston Martin DB3. Look at this car. That is one of the best looking cars ever made, I will say. You can see how many other cars, whoops, that's back to the Porsche. When you look at this Aston Martin, though, we can yawn about GT Sport as far as, you know, a lot of our community wants a little more purist sim. But when you look at this car on the level of Aston Martin, this car was an influence on a great many cars out there, and you have to know that. Shelby GT350 1965, beautiful car. I mean, you know, that's a car that normally we would just totally drool over, but when it's in such a large company. Oh, a Ferrari Dino. How many people know the story of Dino? You will not find a Ferrari emblem on a Ferrari Dino. And the reason for it is at the time, and I could be wrong, so feel free to correct me, but I'm pretty sure I have this right. The Dino was made by one of their designers, Dino, and it is a 6-cylinder Ferrari, which was just, no, we do not do 6-cylinder cars, was sort of the Ferrari motto. So they agreed to produce the car, but they didn't put the Ferrari branding on it. It was the Dino, and it was a 6-cylinder variation. And, you know, I remember in 1978 or so, these cars were not worth anything. You could scoop these up for like next to nothing in the late 70s and even early 80s. And now, because of how rare, how unique a Ferrari it is actually one of the most sought-after Ferraris in the world. And I know I'm long-winded, but I love cars. So do you guys, or you wouldn't be here. Nissan, fair lady, you know, cool. That's cool. In this conversation, it's sort of funny. The Integra Type R, any Honda lover is going to love that car. I've never been overly impressed in the Integra Type R, personally. And then the BMW Z8. This is one of the most underappreciated cars ever made, in my opinion. The V8 version of the Z3, essentially. It is a beast of a car, and when you see it, you're like, wait, that was a BMW little coupe, but you know it was not the coupe you see every day. And then the TVR Tuscan Speed. Sorry, I'm going on and on. Special Stage Route X Ultra High Speed Oval Track will be reintroduced into the game as well. Dino was the sun. The sun. Thank you, Spatial Tim. Used for models with engines fueling. It was an attempt by the company on a relatively low-cost sports car. There you go. And I don't think it sold, I mean, correct me again if I'm wrong, I don't think it sold all that well, which is kind of why it also has become one of the most sought-after and iconic Ferraris, because of the rarity. The Z8 is butt ugly, says Billy Strange. I like the car. I think it's cool looking. Anyway, to each his own in the world of cars. Yeah, we could argue on the TVR as well. TVRs are very, very cool, but they are weird-looking cars, that's for sure. All right, What else do we have? Dirt Rally is now available for pre-order on the Xbox Digital Store. Head there now to reserve your place at the start line. Are you really motivated to do that? Also, we talked about the Girl Gamer affiliation that Codemasters was doing, and we have some shots of the seminar. A lot of men in the audience, by the way. I see more men in the audience than women at the Girls in Gaming, G into Gaming event. But the cool shots of them, again, reaching out, trying to increase the amount of girls. How cool would it be if sim racing had more women in it? I mean, wouldn't it be awesome to meet a girl sim racing and make a friendship, and who knows where it leads to from there? But wouldn't it be cool if there were more girls in gaming in general, more girls in sim racing? If we had a big sim racing event, wouldn't it be cool if there were 50-50? I think that would be awesome. I always tell you about world record laps when they're worth the challenge. If you want to see the best of the best, one of the best, Frederick Rasmussen, you got to know his name by now if you know this show and watch this show. He set a world record lap in the Porsche Cup at Tsukuba. Sorry, I offend people when I say things wrong. A Porsche Cup at Tsukuba. Anyway, you can check out his great lap there. You'll find that at the iRacing page. I'm going to cough here in a second. Sound. Thank you thank you very much. Thank you. You missed my rant calling Mitchie out for being late on the thank you, Brandon. I just got a text from Brandon saying, hey, get it together. Anyway, we are back on the air, but today at noon, you're going to be able to race with or watch Mitchie Hoyer with that Jaguar G3 at Zolter and Assetto Corsa Competizione. All right, where were we so far back? iRacing, that's where we were. World record lap time, that's where we were. I think we all, thank you, Doug, thank you very much. Oh, I'm so sorry. At least I have a lot of animation, so you know I'm going. That's for sure. How do you guys like the new shirt, by the way? I'm just seeing it there when I look up at the screen. I kind of dig it. I think it's cool. I haven't even watched this one yet. Okay, McLaren Shadow. This is another big deal. I mean, wow. 2019, it is really kicking off. It is building up some speed. Randy Welch getting in on the donation action to make sure the wheels of the Simpit keep turning. Thank you, Randy. I appreciate that a ton. It does go a long way in terms of, I'm trying to upgrade. I'm trying to get a new computer build. I'm trying to get a new video card in order to get a VR rig going so it doesn't have to be always, you know, messing with me. I mean, like, switching back and forth is very, very different. Tig, we're all aware of that channel and its 2 videos per year. Thank you. Yes, that was a shot. Yes, that was shots fired. What can I say? Great mime channel. Okay, enough of that. All right, McLaren Shadow. So today is the finals day 1. It's going to be live at 7 p.m. Michael Clark thanking Randy in the most generous of ways. You guys are awesome. 2019. Woo! But today is the finals, day 1. So we already saw some photos of the guys doing a arrive at McLaren, human performance testing. Track day at Dunsfold, that's what we didn't get to see. That went on yesterday. And now today, the finals day 1 will be on at 7 p.m. And I think I have another story on that as well. Project Cars also showing off some of the pictures of stuff. Finalists at the McLaren Technology Center getting ready for the McLaren Shadow finals tonight. Tune in at 7 p.m. GMT. That's 11 a.m. So that's in 2 hours or 1 hour 45 minutes. And you can watch that. I will put that on the... I want to watch it. I have so many things I'm trying to do, you guys. Randy Welch! Wow, we're having a support the... I need to get a hoodie. Yes, RF, I do. We're having a donation off. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it a ton. Look at what he's in, though. That's why I'm stuck on this picture here. Look at this. That is a real McLaren cockpit. So at first I was like, wow, is that some old Fanatic wheel? Like back when they were kind of bulky. The 911 base wheel rims were really bulky feeling wheels. Anyway, that right there is a McLaren cockpit. Look at all the carbon fiber. It's a real deal McLaren cockpit built into... I'm not sure what they're doing. Is this a simulator? Is this just them, you know, doing like a how you get in and out of the car type drill? Don't know. But lots of cool photos of what's going on. And again, in an hour and 45 minutes, you are going to be able to tune in live and watch part 1, day 1 of the finals, tomorrow being day 2. All right, American Truck Simulator. This is at GT Planet. They're going to venture into Washington State, not Washington, D.C. We're not driving big rigs past the White House, at least not yet. But this is Washington State. So what, last expansion, wasn't that... Kimber! Kimber getting in on the action. Thank you very much, Kimber. Yes, everyone please hit the like. Share this show. Tell people, if we don't grow, I'm going to quit. This show doesn't grow, I'm gonna quit, and then I'll just be gone, and that'll be that. So you better tell a friend. You better tell a friend. Anyway, the last expansion I believe was up into the Oregon area. So keeping the going north into that Pacific Northwest, they're now gonna add Washington State, and that's gonna be pretty good. Olympic Peninsula, all that cool stuff that you want to see up in the north. It's maybe the most beautiful part of all of our country, from what I've seen, and I have seen a great amount of places and states in this country. To me, the Pacific Northwest is about as good. The redwood forests of Northern California, I might have more. Anyway, we're off topic. That's where I grew up, was in the redwoods of Northern California. So that is a place in my heart, but. Oh, the Pacific Northwest is really something. Interesting article here. GT Planet. This should piss you off. Amazon celebrates Grand Tour's games release by issuing YouTube takedowns. Oh, F you. My FU of the day goes to the Grand Tour. My FU of the day goes to Amazon. So you know what? Even if it's just for 24 hours, F Amazon. Don't you buy anything from them for 24 hours. They sell you a game in the days and era of streaming. Thank you. Wait, you guys are getting ahead of me. Mitchie Hoyer, thank you very, very much. Very appreciated. Michael Clark in on getting in more coffee for the gang. You guys are totally awesome. Much, much, much appreciated. We're just going to keep this thing going. But Amazon, you know, you guys got to know better. You don't make a game now and then just and then put stuff in it that's going to cause streaming issues. We are in the era of streaming. I don't know if you've noticed it, but one thing I don't even talk about that much is the explosion of sim racing channels, gaming channels across the board. I like to call them watch me drivers. And I do a lot of watch me drive, so I'm not pointing a finger except here as well. The amount of watch me drivers that are on YouTube right now, the amount of reviewers, the amount of sim racing personalities is exploding and growing. Streaming across the board is through the roof, and how dare you in 2019 make a game that comes right out with YouTube takedowns. Can you imagine? You buy the game, you start streaming, and bam, F you can't have that. Anyway, there you go. There's the big story. Mike. Guess what day it is? It's Hump Day, everybody, and it is the third Hump Day of the month, and that means it is time for the 2019 Hot Lap Hump Day Championship. Championship starts today, which means that if you're a Ricmotech customer, I think you have to be a Ricmotech. Actually, I don't even have to say I think. I have all the rules right here, and you'll find them at the Ricmotech page. So if you go to ricmotech.com, you will find the Ricmotech Hot Lap Hump Day Challenge Championship, and they are going to have prizes just like always. So there's going to be a normal prize. You can get out there today. It's going to start at 3 o'clock my time, running till 7. That would be 3 o'clock my time? Yeah, 3. 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock on the East Coast, or 3 to 7 on the West Coast. But any of the patron guys, you are going to be able to join us. I'll give out the password during the stream to you guys, and we'll just see who is the fastest. And, oh, Pit Crew, we are still going after those Extreme Motorsport guys, but I don't know if we're going to have a full attendance tonight, I will say, just because of the big race this weekend, that being the 24 Hours of Daytona on iRacing. So anyway, you can find that at the Ricmotech Twitter page. You can find that at the Ricmotech Hot homepage, and you can join me with that stream today at 3 o'clock right here. So lots going on this channel today. You got Mitchie at noon doing the Assetto Corsa Round 5. You got me with the Hot Lap Hump Day at 3. So lots of Watch Me Drive today. Motorsport, talking about the fundamental racing setup divide in Forza esports. So it's a whole article here talking to a couple of people. Like, we talked about that merger, the Lachaise, what was the name of that? It was that Razor sounding team. But anyway, it's a really cool article that I'm not going to dwell on, but you can find it at motorsport.com under their gaming setup. And it's talking about how, you know, Forza, a lot of the champions, the guys who came to be the best of the best in Forza, are using, control pads, and when they get to these big competitions, they're stepping up to the wheel. And they're talking about the whole shakeup that has happened in the Forza Esport Championship based on some of the best are struggling, some of the best are gravitating, and some guys that maybe you didn't expect to be great all of a sudden are great. So it's a cool article and something that we've talked about here on the show. We've talked about the challenge of changing gear. Lazarus Esport man, Tobin Lay, picture in the bottom left. I guess he was one of the ones, he was skeptical at first, I guess. But yeah, they talk. Happy birthday, Miss Strange, Billy's wife. Hey, shout out to Billy's wife. No racing for Billy today, but happy birthday to your wife. Thank you for letting us have him the rest of the time. What else do we have to talk about? Whoops, I scrolled too far. I have so many stories today. Things have really started going. I talked about the game Wrench. Oh, I need a Wrench graphic up. Here's another game that was recommended to me. How much contraband do you think? This is sort of like a Wrench in that direction, something maybe not sim racing, maybe in the direction of My Summer Car, maybe something I have to look more into, but Contraband Police sounds kind of entertaining, something I might have to look into. But it reminds me that I have been playing Wrench, and one of the other, quickie reviews, is Wrench. And as soon as Wrench went VR, I had to play it, and they've made some updates that keep, every time I go to film it and do it, it keeps getting better, and then I want to do more. Anyway, I am giving away compliments of Wrench, and one of their developers. So if you guys have been coming into our chat room, there's a new member, Alec Moody, on our patron group, and he's actually one of the artists, I believe, for the Wrench title. But if you would like a copy of the game Wrench, on Friday I'm going to give away some copies of Wrench. All you have to do is email me, Sean, SHAUN, at thesimpit.com. Email me, and in the title, all you have to do is say, I want to wrench on cars. I want to win Wrench. Let me know in the title that you are interested in the game Wrench, and on Friday, I'm going to be giving away some copies to some lucky winners. I'm going to give away one to the patron group. I'm going to give away a few here to everybody else. But I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's a great VR game, and if you want to learn how to work on cars, Wrench is awesome. It really is. It teaches you a lot about cars if you don't know. Anyway, and you can check out Contraband Police. I'm assuming it's going to be available in Q1 2019. McLaren just locking down another deal, so now they're working with the Humpday wearable deal. That thing looks a lot like, there's one of my, I have one of those screens that I can make look like that, but I got my fancy smartwatch. Anyway, they've cited deals to all those drivers. Gonna be strutting those cool. I wonder if they're gonna use them for. I wonder if they're gonna use them for training. That's really too bad, Shane. Sorry to hear about that. Hopefully things will get better for you. Thank you, Kimber, for putting that in as well. The celery needs to be hidden. I missed something there. Work Simulator, is that good, Spatial? I saw that title and I thought about it. I'm kind of a VR nut now, all of a sudden. Looking to make your rig the ultimate in realism? Well, I guess any part of really starting a car is using a ignition switch. Anyway, I thought this was kind of funny. This is the Start Your Simu Like a Car with HSR. It just kind of made me chuckle a little bit. I don't even, yeah, actually quite a few. and I have to admit, I've had button boxes where one of the buttons was activated, an ignition. Double clutch I have not, but I did talk to Alec about Wrench, and he says he's actually faster with the keyboard and mouse than he is in VR. To me, the VR allows me to interact with the car in a way that just lets me feel like I'm kind of doing it to an extent. So I really, really do like playing it in VR, and I love the concept of the game when I saw it, but when it was in VR is also right when I had got my VR and was like, oh, I have to do this, and I've been pretty happy with it. I've pretty much done everything. I even exploded the entire car and put the entire car together like a mechanical jigsaw puzzle, and that ended up taking, how long did that take? That took me like 5 to 6 hours easily. I filmed it. I just don't know if it all worked. I have to look at all my footage. A couple of congrats to the ACR Avid Chronic Racing, Mitchy Hoyer in the chat with us here watching the show. But speaking of a great weekend, this is their post from 14 hours ago. Speaking of a great weekend, past Sunday we participated highly successfully in the Formula Sim Racing Winter Series Round 2 at Baku. 2 races, 2 clear wins for ACR Zach Speed. Jernej Simonchik qualified well and took victory in the 30-minute feature race. Race 2 has been won by Mitchy Hoyer after starting from the pole position. So great job to those back-to-back wins from the Avid Chronic guys. And then also, in addition to that, posted yesterday, very mixed feelings from the Saturday's 8 hours of Sepang race in the Virtual Endurance Championship. So they're running that VEC Championship, 8 hours, and after 2 hours into the race, they lost the 102 car. That was Mitchy and Cody Blanton. Mitchy jumped at the pit wall for the number 12 at the, missed that. And it looks like the number 12 car was able to pull off an overall victory in their race. So good job to those guys, and good job, Mitchy. Been hearing a lot of chatter, so I want to thank Sean Sebran. I like to thank the people who helped me out behind the scenes. Sean Sebran of Pro Sim Racing being one of them, and working with him and him really taking over or taking the helm of our sim racing systems Assetto Corsa series has been great, because the racing's gone on even though I haven't been able to attend the races myself. But I've been watching that channel and watching the guys and all the conversation, and this season of the championship on a sim racing system, everybody's super pumped for it. It's the Simpit Pick Your Poison. I've had 3 people email me saying, Sean, this season's going to be awesome. You ought to think about getting in here. I see the chatter in our thread, our communications thread for this series. People going nuts. It's the Pick Your Poison GT3 Championship. We got to look at the cars available, so you can pick one of 7 cars. And here's the schedule. Spa, Road America, Feldberg Ring, never heard or been there myself. Oh, that's a track I've never been to. Road Atlanta, Imola, and Silverstone GP. And Sean Sebran did a cool little video promo. Whoops, it's going to give me the wrong one. And this is a little video. You'll find this at Pro Sim Racing on YouTube. But it's his promo video for the Pick Your Poison GT3 season. If you want to get on that, they race on Thursday and Friday nights, I do believe. And that will be fun. But there's Sean Sebran and his promo for that and the cars and the tracks and all that. You can check that out. And if you're looking for something to do, it should be very good racing. It's going to be a good crowd as well. In addition to that, This isn't really sim racing related, but it kind of is. We talk about the race of championships, the next round being in Mexico, and the reason we talk about it is because now it's kind of becoming more and more official that there is a team sim racing all-star team. So in this, and we've talked about it, but it's getting ready to go on what, the 19th and 20th, I do believe it is. But here's a list of all the drivers who will be in it. But important to us is the fact that we have Brendan Lay and Enzo Benito, who are going to be taking on the likes of Tom Christensen and Johan Kristofferson and Benito Guerra and Patrick O'Ward and Helio Castroneves, Lucas deGrassi. So yeah, they're going to get to meet and race against some of the real life best racers in the Race of Champions Mexico, coming up in this weekend, January 19th and 20th. So this weekend is when that is going on. Playseat and Project Cars are joining forces for the next major esport competition, and this is the Playseat SMSR series. Project Cars esport competition take place in the PC version of the game with 20,000 euro in prizes up for grabs. So this is a pretty big deal, and teams already signed on into the pro class. Funny how that started. This kind of thing I told you guys that we were going to start seeing more and more of in sim racing, where instead of it just being a big open competition, no, F that. Here are the teams we've invited. Oscaro, Team Redline, VP Gaming, TX3, G2, that's Logitech, Veloce, F4H Motorsport, who is no longer that because they're now that Lazaris or Lascaris or whatever. Jap Speed, GTA Racing, and Team Avid Chronic Racing have been invited into the list. That's quite a headline list of teams right there. So that should be exciting action. More and more money. Look at how much money is to be made in sim racing this year alone, 2019. I said last year was going to be the year of esport, and I meant it, and I think it easily was. I think this is the year where esport becomes huge, huge money. Big, big money, and we're going to go from seeing 1 to 5 people making a living in sim racing to seeing it more like 25 to 50 people making a living off of sim racing. Maybe by the end of this year. That's what I am starting to see and think. Jesse Viking Elite Racing Con in the show here with us. Hey, Jesse, how you doing? Don't know. I've not tried FreeSync with NVIDIA. You would know more about that than I. That's for sure. All right, let's check out a couple of rigs. Maybe you need motivation. Maybe you're just looking for a new inspiration. But look at that. Total Deathmobile. That is like the original Deathmobile. I see a junkyard seat. I see a cross-braced wheel deck. I see a nice McLaren Club Sport wheel rim, Club Sport pedals, so he's using real gear. And that is a great-looking rig here on Reddit, and this is by Buttholes Are a Myth. Just so you know, buttholes are a myth. That would help at times in endurance racing. Also on Reddit, and this one's by Ricky Baker. Just finished setting up his new rig. Also, another looking, that's actually like a profile. That's a basic profile looking design. And he used to be on a T300 with the Playseat Challenge. He's now on Fanatic gear. In fact, you can see that new F1 wheel. On the Elite pedals and a Club Sport base on what looks like a blacked out profile rig, if I'm not mistaken. Nice upgrade there. And look at this. I thought this was a really clean looking sim racing room. He talks about mounting his wheel 29. It extends 29 inches from the wall to help out with his field of view. Almost finally finished. This is by RS Bell. And this is the PC, and all the components are rack mounted in the corner. Just got himself a Pimax. Obviously, money is no option for RS Bell. You can see the old school Playseat seat sitting in the background with some flight gear on it. And quite an elaborate little gaming area. I like that, obviously. He spent some ducats there. And here we have, that looks like an R-seat. Yep, that is an R-seat S1 chassis. I would in the red and black, the Assetto Corsa looking colors. This one's by Hella Cool, with one of those curved 49-inch monitors, it looks like, and a really nice looking R-seat setup there. Wonder why his keyboard is sitting on the ground and not up on his keyboard tray? Oh, I know why. Because he has one of those really fat looking keyboards. So that's going to do it for rigs out there to see. And I love leaderboards, and I love when one of our very own pit crew show the world how to get it done. But Andres Castanedas is on the top of the leaderboard in the race room hill climb icons challenge. He's using the get real difficulty, and he set a lap time, or a hill climb time, at 2 minutes 51.7 seconds, which is 3/10 quicker than Philippe Gill. What's Gill's last name? I can't get that. But congratulations to Andreas. Really, really well done. And love seeing one of our guys on the top of the leaderboard once again. And then finally, just a reminder, the Simpit Endurance team, sponsored by Ricmotech, we will have our final practice tomorrow. We're going to set up practice rooms starting at 3. I'll do a 4-hour room from 3 to 7, and another room from 7 to 11 Pacific time. I'd like to see all the guys out there. We'll be talking in our 2019 Endurance chat thread on our Patreon channel. But tomorrow is the final practice. We'll be doing some driver swaps and things like that. I will stream the practice as a final practice for my stream of the full 24-hour race with picture-in-picture, and it's going to be really exciting. That is happening Saturday at 5 a.m. One of the reasons why things are starting to go crazy over here at this point in time. Beyond that, we already talked about Mitchie Hoyer, but I guess I should mention again, because coming up here in about 2.5 hours will be Mitchie Hoyer streaming Assetto Corsa Competizione Beta Access Release number 5 with the Jaguar G3 at Zolder. And you can check that out. I will be back on the air at 3 o'clock with Hot Lap Humpday. No idea what the car combo or track combo is going to be. They don't tell me until about 5 minutes before the stream, and that's what makes it so much fun. So happy Hump Day to everybody out there. Get out there, do some sim racing. A double clutch, I will give out the password as soon as we get all of the regulars into the room. So all you have to do is tune in at 3, and I will be giving out the password. We are going to have Kevin Ford on the mic, and it should be fun. We'll see some cameras from Florida watching the guys down at Ricmotech. You'll see me seeing what I can do. I'm still just hoping to get in the top 10, but we need to go after those extreme motorsport guys because they win every week. Those guys are fast. They are really fast. Anyway, lots of fun stuff, lots of stuff going on behind the scenes, like reviews of rigs, handbrakes, shifters, games, G-seat, all sorts going on. I'm starting to get a little behind once again, but I will catch up. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole. Be sure to subscribe and tell a friend, and I'll see you on the track.